Hello, everybody. All right, so I decided to do kind of a surprise Facebook Live because I keep seeing posts lately about people in stalls and wanting to break their stalls, of course. And I see, of course, advice out there that I don't love in terms of overall health and nutrition. So I thought, let me jump on and give you my top 5 tips on how to break your stall. So I'm going to give it a few minutes here and see if some people get logged in. This will also stay, of course, on the page so that you can take a look at it later if you're not able to listen in because you're at work. That definitely works. So just give it a few minutes and then I will get started and tell you 5 tips to break your stall. Drinking tea now. Okay, so let's get started then. So, stalls happen for a variety of reasons. Sometimes your body just needs to kind of catch up. Sometimes it needs more than that. Sometimes there is something that we're not doing that's proper. Sometimes we've fallen off the wagon. Hello, Lisa. So, there's all kinds of reasons why you could be in a stall. So, try not to panic about it because there are things that we can do to get out of a stall. So, I'm going to give you my 5 tips. So, first, number 1, don't do any knee-jerk reactions. If you are in a stall, let your body adjust. Feel it for a couple days. We're not always going to lose weight every single day. That's unreasonable. Even post-bariatric, post-surgery life, it's just not reasonable that you're going to see the scale go down every single day. A true stall is at least 7 to 14 days at the same weight. Not losing slowly, but staying the exact same for 7 to 14 days is what's considered a stall. So if you're not at that point yet, if it's been 4 days and the scale isn't moving and you're freaking out, just try to relax a little bit. It's probably just your body adjusting. If you're to the point of the 7 to 14 days though, then that's considered a stall, and then there's some things that we can look at doing. But the knee-jerk reactions are a big no-no because if you keep changing things all the time, constantly, every time you're not losing weight for a couple days, it's hard to figure out what your body wants because you don't really know what you're giving it. You don't know what's making your body happy, and every body is going to want slightly different things. So, tip number 1, no knee-jerk reactions when you're in a stall. Stay the course, know that you're doing things right, and wait and see if it is a true stall or just your body playing catch-up. Tip number 2 is go back to tracking. So you want to go back to your tracking app. Again, I recommend MyFitnessPal, Berrytastic works, Lose It works, any of the apps. Writing it down on paper works. You just want to make sure, oh, is anybody else's video not working? Dawn, is yours working? Because Michelle says her video isn't working. If your video stops working, log out and come back in, and sometimes that fixes it. But if everybody's isn't working, then I will log back out. Let's pause for a second. Give me a thumbs up if your video is working. Please, thumbs up. Nobody? I see 12 people watching. Is it not working for all 12? Oh, there we go. It's working for somebody. Okay. Sandra, it's working for you. So that means the video must be working for somebody. Okay. I'm going to keep going. If it continues to not work, then I'll start again. There we go. Christina, it works for you. Oh, but I'm really quiet. Let me see if I can turn myself up. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let's pause for a second. There we go. Okay. I'm going to back up just a second. So it's officially a stall, Kathy, when you've been 7 to 14 days with no loss at all. Not 1 pound, not 2 pounds, but none in 7 to 14 days. So that's what's considered a true stall. So tip number 1 was no knee-jerk reactions. Tip number 2 is go back to tracking. Whatever app you're using, or even just writing it down on paper, but get back to that. If you've stopped weighing, measuring, and tracking, you need to get back there. It's hard to know where to go if you don't know where you're at. So that's huge. If you send me a message and say, Christina, I've been stuck in a stall. I haven't lost any weight in a month or 2 months or 4 months or whatever. The first thing I'm going to say to you is, are you tracking? I can't help you if I don't know what you're eating. Because nobody thinks that they're eating bad. Nobody thinks that they're doing anything wrong. I mean, you're trying to do the best that you can. But I need to know exactly what's going on, exactly what you're consuming. And it might not even be that you're doing anything wrong or bad. It might just be that your body needs a change, but we don't even know what to change if we don't know where you are. So if you think of it like if you're lost in the, if you're lost in downtown New York City, and you have no idea where you are, it doesn't matter if you have a GPS or a compass or anything. If you have no clue where you are, it's kind of hard to get where you're going. So that's what I think about tracking, that even if you're not an everyday tracker, which I think you should be, but even if you're not, it's really, really important to track if you're stuck in a stall, because that's going to just get you right back to where you need to be. So just get yourself honest with tracking again. All right. Step number 3, it will lead us into. So step number 3 to breaking your stall is be honest with yourself. If there's anything that you're doing that could be contributing to your stall, admit it. The only person that you're lying to is yourself. Nobody else cares if you're in a stall, like truly. It's you that it's impacting. Your boss doesn't care, your friends don't care, like they all probably think you look wonderful anyways. But it's you. So be honest with yourself. I don't know if you guys were on the group or remember, but months ago, I was stuck in a stall. I think it was back in June or July. I was stuck in a stall and I was sitting down thinking, what on earth am I doing wrong? As I reached over and grabbed a handful of goldfish crackers from my children's bowl and stuffed them in my mouth. Well, what was I doing wrong? I was mindlessly snacking on the kids' snacks all day long. I was probably adding 50 or 100 empty calories every day of like goldfish crackers and rice cakes. Was I meaning to do it? No, of course not. But as soon as I got honest with myself and got rid of that, it really, really helped bust me out of that stall because I just wasn't doing it anymore. But I had to be truly honest with myself. If you're having too many treats, yeah, it's okay if you're not perfect. It's okay if you fall off the wagon sometimes. But if you're stuck in a stall and you've been dining out too much, or you've been drinking fancy Starbucks coffee, or you've been doing anything that isn't quote unquote in your plan, just be honest with yourself. And maybe those are the things you need to cut to bust your stall, or maybe those are things that you're not willing to do to bust your stall, but at least then you know what's going on. So it gives you just a little bit of it. Also, if you've scaled back or greatly increased exercise, that's another place to watch, to monitor. That's still step 3 about being honest with yourself. If you've changed your exercise routine, just really sit down and think about, what have I done different now that I'm stuck in this stall? So say you've been stalled for 3 weeks. What was I doing 3-4 weeks ago when I was losing weight that I'm not doing now? Dawn, I love wine. Maybe that's it. It very well could be. I told myself no wine until I hit my goal, and I'm 5 pounds away. I can't wait for wine. All right. Step number 4 is going to be check your calories and your macros. Are you eating enough? Are you eating too much? Are your macros out of whack? So if you haven't seen the video about macros, send me a message or post on the group, and I will post the YouTube link to the video about macros. So if you don't know what macros are, we'll get you clear on those. But if your macros aren't properly in line, that can easily put you in a stall. There's kind of 2 main schools of thought when it comes to macros and weight loss. The first one is basically the ketogenic school of thought, where you're doing really high fat, super low carb, moderate protein. So that's kind of the first school of thought. The second school of thought is doing lower fat, moderate carb, higher protein. So those are kind of the 2 ways you can go. But if you're doing moderate fat, moderate carbs, moderate protein, you're probably gonna stall. If you're doing high fat, high fat, high carb, you're probably gonna stall. So your macros need to be in line in order to be losing weight fairly consistently. I will post on the group as soon as I'm done this video. I'll post the link to the other video for the macros so that everybody can watch that as well. It was one I had done a couple months ago. I think it's called Revving Up Your Metabolism After Weight Loss Surgery or something like that. So I'll give you guys that in just a few minutes, and it will really break down the macros for you. All right. So also make sure when you're checking your calories and your macros that your sugars are low and your fiber is high. You will, your metabolism will be revved up by 30% if you can keep your fiber over 25 grams a day. But that can be tough to do. And then I recommend to keep your sugar number and your fiber number as close together as possible. In a perfect world, your fiber would be higher than your sugar, but that rarely happens. But that would be a perfect world, just so you know. All right. Step number 5 is going to be switch it up. Sometimes your body just needs a change. I've been kind of in this place lately that for almost 9 months, I was doing the same thing. I was eating super healthy. I don't really do cheat days or anything like that, but my macros, my percent of protein, fats, and carbs were basically the same every single day. Yes, I was eating different food, of course, but I was basically adding up to the same stuff every single day. And I think my body just got bored. I don't suggest a cheat day. I don't love cheat day. I think cheat day comes with a lot of guilt, and I don't like rewarding myself with food anymore because I'm not a dog. So I try really hard not to do that. So I try to not do cheat days, but sometimes I'll just do a day where my macros are totally different, or just completely change something up. Or if you've been doing the lower fat, moderate carb, higher protein, maybe jump onto a healthy version. Let me stress that, not bacon and cheese, but a healthy version of the ketogenic diet for a week or so. I don't believe in ketogenic long term. We all know that. I've talked about that before. But if you want to jump on that for a week or two, maybe that's what your body needs, a shock to your system, a complete shock. Try carb cycling. That's another one that's really successful for people, where you have days that you vary between high carb and low carb. So you kind of have this, so your body never gets used to exactly what you're doing. Again, it's a shock to your system. Do a whoosh and zoom type thing, like that 3-day reset that I did a couple months ago, where ideally for one day you're supposed to try to eat as much as you possibly can, not cheating, good foods, but as much as you possibly can for a day, and then go strict for a couple days. Stay away from the liquid reset diets. They do not work. They're a fad diet. It's the exact same as before surgery. If you had done all liquids for 3 days or 5 days or 10 days or however long, yeah, you'd lose weight, but you'd put it right back on, and usually plus some. Plus, if you're doing those kind of fad diets, you're just going to get right back to where you were before surgery, where you've damaged your metabolism. So stay away from those. I know they're tempting when you're stuck in a stall, but honestly, they don't do your body any good. They're just going to get you right back into that dieting cycle of up and down. Go up a couple pounds, go down a couple pounds, go up a couple pounds, go down a couple pounds, because it's not sustainable weight loss. So if you're going to do a reset plan, do one that focuses on whole foods, things to rev up your metabolism, and then watch the video on how to rev up your metabolism that I'm going to post on the group with the macros and stuff on it, and that will help as well. But get real honest with yourself and go through these 5 steps. So I'm going to go over them again. Number 1, no knee-jerk reactions. Number 2, get back to tracking. Number 3, be honest with yourself. Number 4, check your calories and your macros. Number 5, give your body a switch up. Do something different. So those are my top 5 tips on how to bust out of your stall. If you're doing all of those things and you're still stuck in a stall, send me a message and we can chat about what might be going on. But remember, I'm going to ask you if you're tracking, and I'm probably going to ask you to send me your tracking for a few days so that I can look at what you're doing. So if you're not tracking yet, make sure you get on it. And then after you've tracked for at least 3 days, then send me your message and say, Christina, help. So now I'm going to open it up just for a little I'm going to open it up for a little Q&A session now, so you guys can ask any questions about anything, not just stalls, but if you had something going on. So I see a few questions here that I'm going to answer. Mary, the All Brand Buds. So All Brand Buds are a cereal. You'll find them in the cereal aisle. They're a super healthy cereal. They're really high in fiber, 11 grams of fiber in 1/3 of a cup. I don't eat them as a cereal. I put them on yogurt, and they give me the crunch that I desire from like granola or something like that, but they're way healthier. 11 grams of fiber and only 70 calories. Yes, they have carbs in them, but keep in mind that they're pretty low impacting carbs because of those 11 grams of fiber. I've heard of people finding them all kinds of places. They're not in Canada. I've seen them at every single grocery store. But in the US, I've heard people had to struggle a little bit, that some of like the discount type grocery stores like Aldi and stuff don't carry them. So you may have to go to just like a regular brand. I think a couple of people did find them at Walmart though. So that's the All Brand Buds. If you want to see a picture of them, message me and I'll send you a picture. I have one on the computer, but I can't post it here. Yeah, totally up your fiber. Okay, Dawn, what do I mean by knee-jerk reactions? So knee-jerk reaction is like when something's not working and then you just immediately change it. That it's like, well, that didn't work, so I'm just going to go to something else. So it's like if you were stalled for, you hadn't lost weight in 4 days, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm just going to do ketogenic. And then you did ketogenic for 4 days, and then you stopped losing weight. And then, well, I'm just going to go back to regular macros. And then you wait 4 more days. And then you're going to go and, I don't know, do a liquid reset or whatever. So it's just constantly changing things is like the knee-jerk reaction. Oh no, Teresa, send me a message. I know you had surgery really recently, but we'll figure out what's going on. Send me a message. And I'll figure out why you're not losing, but we will get you losing. Don't you worry. Teresa Moore, what about things like Benefiber? I don't love the things like Benefiber because it's artificial fiber. So it's not like true fiber. I prefer to eat your fiber whenever possible. So if you can consume your nutrients, your micronutrients, all of that stuff through food, that is completely ideal because it's giving you so much more. Benefiber and stuff is good in the beginning, but keep in mind that if you're using Benefiber and those kind of things, you need to increase your water. Anytime you're increasing fiber of any sort, increase your water, or else you're just creating bulk, and that is not going to be pleasant. So increase water. Karen, I feel like I can eat just like I used to only 4 months out. So, that's a tough one. If you feel like you can eat as much as you used to, that could be troublesome. But if you feel like you can eat the foods that you used to, I don't think that's a problem, to be honest. So I can eat anything that I used to eat, basically. I have not been sick from one single thing since surgery. I have never once thrown up. So I can eat all of the foods that I used to eat if I chose to. The difference is that I've chose not to. So you need to consciously make a change in your eating. Your sleeve or your bypass is only a tool. You can work around it. If you want to eat just like you used to eat, you totally can. A lot of people can. Even people that get dumping syndrome can still find ways to eat junk food if they really want to. You need to have mind over matter on that part of it. And just not eat those foods that got you to obesity in the first place. That really, you've been given a second chance. So you need to change the habits. That is number one. That people can have surgery and then not change their habits. And then there's really scary statistics that 30 to 50% of people don't lose the weight or gain it back after weight loss surgery. The stats are scary and they're real. So you need to change your habits. Yeah, you can coast for a little while and lose some weight by eating the same things. That totally, will happen for some people. But then those are the people that I then talk to 6 to 12 months later, who are then either stuck in stalls or gaining back weight or whatever. So if you don't change those habits, then bad things are coming. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's just reality. Sorry. Okay. I saw another question. Will you give us the option to just purchase a 1-month 4 series of meal plans with nothing else? I probably wouldn't, Christina, honestly, because it takes a lot of time for me to put together custom meal plans. Those are probably the most time-consuming part of any program I do. It's why so far the only program that I've offered meal plans in is my premium coaching program, because it does take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and especially to really personalize them for people, it takes a while to do. I can try to get back to posting my meal plans on the group for everybody so you guys can see what I'm eating. Give me a week or two to get back to that, and I'll start posting those again for you. Right now, I'm experimenting with something, so I'm not going to post what I'm eating right now because I don't know if it works or not. But I can get back to posting mine for inspiration for people. Also, in the new plan that is starting in January, the Sleek and Sassy exclusive, there will be one meal plan every single month, so people can go to that and save them up and use those as meal plans, and that would work. But like I said, the meal plans just take a long time. Sorry, I see people walking by my house now. This is what happens when you get easily distracted. All right. Oh gosh, Tara, you used a different cooking spray and threw up. Some people's bodies are really sensitive after surgery. Mine is not. I could probably do some pretty nasty things, but I just choose not to. All right, I will do the What is Christina Eating again. I'll start that again. Give me about a week and I'll start it again. And I'll post those again. They may not sometimes get posted till the next morning for the night before. We'll see how it goes. But I do usually plan my meals in advance, so we'll see. But I can do that for sure, guys. If that's something you guys missed, and that was something that a lot of people used as inspiration, we can go back. But all the old ones are still in the album on the group, so you can go back and see what I ate in like August. I think it was August. Karen, you know what? Sorry, I'm just reading Karen's comment here. Cannot seem to lose much weight, only 25 pounds since surgery and 26 before surgery on the liquid diet. So now copping out as usual and eating whatever. I am proud of you, Karen, for admitting that it is a bit of a cop out. And I'll be totally honest with you that I don't pussyfoot around those things. That if you are eating whatever you want, then yeah, you're not going to lose weight. It's like before surgery. So you need to be able to be accountable to yourself. That was one of the stall tips, is be accountable to yourself and admit what you're doing wrong. And that's the only way that we can fix it. So just admit what you're doing and then get on board to fix it. And that is going to seriously help you so, so much. And I mean, do the free call with me at least. Even if you can't afford a program, I never, ever, ever push a program on anybody. I only want people in my programs that want to be in my programs. So do the free call and let's chat for 30 minutes about what's going on and see how I can help you. Get back on track and get back to the things that you know made you successful. Get back to tracking, get back to eating well, and all those kind of things. Lindsay, it's a bit, how many calories at 5 months out? Calories in are kind of individual for everybody, but by 5 months, you should be at a minimum of 900. 900 calories a day at minimum, so you should be coming out of starvation by 5 months out for sure. I usually like to see you at 900 by 3 months, and then it kind of depends what your body will allow you to do. For me, I was stuck at like 9 to 1050 for the longest time. Like seriously, like a really long time. Like months. I couldn't get myself beyond that. And then now finally I'm 9 months out and I'm now at about 1,300 calories a day. But I'm fairly active. So it really depends on activity level. It depends on literally your restriction and what your sleeve will let you do. And that's totally something that is individual per person. But I would say no less than 900 at 5 months out. Carrie, can't wait. I know, I'm so excited. I can't believe that the Sleek and Sleeve starts November 14th, which is also my birthday, by the way, everybody. So just so you know. Karen, there's a couple program options that I offer people. The one that Carrie was mentioning is the Sleek and Sleeved program. And it's a 7-week intensive program. It's education-based, teaches you how to eat better, teaches you loads of different things, basically. There's 7 different weeks to it. Each week we focus on something else. The first one is, the first week is all about the nutrition fundamentals. So we focus on water, macros, protein, fats, carbs, all those kind of things. Week 2 is about emotional eating. So we focus on how to avoid emotional eating and how to kind of make that a thing of your past. Week 3 is all about meal prepping and planning. Week 4 is, what is week 4? Sorry, I changed the weeks. Week 4 is how to survive the holidays without gaining weight. Week 5 is reading nutrition labels. Week 6 is dining out after bariatric surgery. And week 7 is fueling your fitness. So learning how to eat properly after surgery to be able to fuel your exercise. So making sure that you're eating enough, making sure that you're eating the right foods, and all that kind of stuff. So that is the Sleek and Sleeved program that starts November 14th. I have 2 spaces left in that program for anybody that wants in. And of course, we will be, as Tara just said, we'll be announcing the scholarship award on next Tuesday, which at least, you know, everybody has something positive to look forward to next Tuesday in case the election doesn't do what you want. And there will be no election posts on the page, by the way. If you need to emotionally eat, you will do so in silence. Awesome, Nancy. Good thing. Okay. Kristen, what are your favorite foods during the soft food phase? I'm 4 weeks post-op and tired of yogurt and cottage cheese. Tuna, chicken salad, those are some that I ate. Honestly, I ate a lot of refried beans in my soft food phase, which are not really good macro-wise, but man, did they taste delicious. I would do refried beans with a little bit of like taco seasoning and some Greek yogurt, guacamole, and cheese. And I ate a lot of that, which got my calories up really quickly, which was nice because there's a lot of fat in that, but they're mostly good, healthy fats, mostly. That was a lot of what I ate. I would do things like protein pudding, adding protein to yogurt to give it a different flavor. Protein ice cream I made. Karen, I'll send you the link as soon as we're done here. But on my website, sleekandsassynutrition.com under Sleek and Sleeved. What other things did I eat in soft food? Deli meat, if you're allowed deli meat. I ate a fair amount of deli meat. Well, a fair amount, I mean like 1 ounce at a time, of deli meat in soft foods. Soft cheeses were also really good. The Baby Bells I liked. I don't like the Laughing Cow cheese personally, but if you like that, it was another one that a lot of people do in soft foods. I always kind of said to myself, anything in soft foods, I would allow myself to eat anything that I could feed to like a 1-year-old baby, essentially. Ronnie, I think I only posted them for the month of August, to be honest. It was a lot of work to post every single day what I was doing. I think there were some in July as well. I haven't deleted anything on there, so I'll go back and see which ones, but they should all be in the album, unless I missed a few. But for the most part, they should be in the album. I might have a few on my computer that I can post in there if they never made it in. But that was just a lot of work to post what I was eating every day. But I will do it for you guys because you like it. And it holds me accountable because, man, I cannot eat bad if I have to post on what I'm eating. That was a tough one. All right. Anybody have any other questions? We'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll wrap up. And I will post the macro video on the page. Karen, I'll send you a link on how to sign up for Sleek and Sleeved. And if anybody else needed anything, then just let me know. Awesome. All right, everybody, we will wrap up then. I hope you guys, I'm just going to go one more time through the 5 tips on how to avoid your stall or how to get out of your stall. First one, no knee-jerk reactions. Stay the course. Don't keep changing things. Your body will get too confused then and we don't know what's working, what's not working. Number 2, go back to tracking. Track everything you're eating. Weigh, measure, do all of that stuff. Measure all your food, weigh your food, do all of that. And put it into a tracking app or write it down on paper anyways. Number 3, be honest with yourself. Is there anything that you're doing that's causing you to be in this stall? Anything that you need to change? Number 4, check your calories and your macros. Make sure that they're where they need to be. And number 5, was that number 5? Yeah, number 5, switch it up. Sometimes your body needs a change and that's okay as long as that change is healthy. So do a whoosh, do a day where you're higher calorie, do a day where you go back down to normal. Change your macros around, try some carb cycling. There's all kinds of different things that you can do to break your stall. Ashley, send me a message if you can't find the link as well. Or actually, I'll just post the link on the main group in 2 minutes to get to the Sleek and Sleeve program. Jennifer, I started to drink tea to get my liquids in, and I use 2 stevia packets. Stevia is great, absolutely. Start with 2 stevia packets, eventually try to scale it back to 1, and then eventually you may be able to drink your tea with nothing in it at all, which I can now do happily. And play around with different teas too. Some are sweeter than others, just naturally. My favorite one that I'm drinking right now is the Starbucks Peach Tranquility Tea. So good. And yeah, it's awesome. So, and actually tastes sweet. It tastes like peach juice. So those are all my tips for breaking your stall and all the little questions that you guys had. So excited to chat with you guys. And yeah, I will talk to you again soon when I do my next surprise Facebook Live. Okay, bye guys.